Hey everyone, future Nick here. As you can tell, this podcast is coming in on a Tuesday instead of a Monday. That is entirely my fault. I had family coming in, and I completely neglected to edit the podcast at my usual time. So I got back right after work on Monday, managed to get the edits done so we can get it up nice and early Tuesday morning, 9:30 sludge, just as usual. And I promise starting next week we will be back on track at 9:30 a.m. on Monday. So I thank you all for your patience with me. We have a great episode this week. We have David back on the podcast. We're talking about Area 51, guys getting caught with uranium, and metal straws impaling people's eyeballs. So keep tuned. It's a little morbid, but it's still pretty fun. Again, thank you for your patience. And now, on to the podcast. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Almost Live podcast with myself, Austin.
What's up, bitches?
And again, for the second time, our special guest, Austin's roommate, David.
I guess I'm back.
By popular demand.
By popular demand.
He's
Of
back.
3 people.
All of 3 people.
We have a few specific discussions that we can talk about today, but not a super amount of stuff that has been choreographed between us three. So it's going to be a little bit everywhere, but I still think I still feel like we can make this fun. Because it's 3 of us going back and forth. There's probably going to be a lot of tangents, but who gives a fuck?
And we've all been drinking a bit.
Yeah, I have drank a decent amount.
I mean, crazy is fun.
Yeah, crazy is fun.
Crazy's always fun.
Crazy and sporadic, that creates content.
Just don't stick your dick in crazy.
That's true.
Just don't stick. Yeah, exactly. I feel that.
Don't do it.
I feel that on many levels. David said before we started that he had something that he was going to bring up for the podcast, a topic, and I want you to bring that up because I want to feel what you're feeling.
Yes.
Yeah,
Please enlighten
so
us.
apparently I found out you can buy uranium ore on Amazon.
Really?
Yeah, because
Hold up.
some dude got
For some reason, my
on.
first thought was uranium was actually titanium, but then I remembered uranium was radioactive.
Yeah,
I'm going to look that up right now.
How can
apparently you can buy it on Amazon.
What's the price on that?
I don't know the
And
price.
also, what can we use?
$39.95.
Are you fucking kidding?
I'm looking at it right now.
How,
$39.95
but
for
how
how
much?
much?
But how much uranium?
Actually, give me a second to check this.
That's absolutely nuts. Like,
Because apparently,
dependent on amount.
yeah, but apparently some dude in Oklahoma, he was arrested for. It was accused car thief was also carrying rattlesnake and uranium.
So that's how you found it.
Yeah.
You were just like, how did this guy acquire uranium? And then
No,
you just looked up uranium on Amazon.
No, because all I got from it was accused car thief was also carrying rattlesnake and uranium was cut off. So I was like, dude had a rattlesnake and what else? So I clicked on the link
Yeah,
and it said
what's the,
uranium. And I
yeah.
was like, what the fuck?
What's the secret item? Like rattlesnake and dildo, rattlesnake and housing deed, maybe a pink slip for a car. Who knows?
Maybe a pink slip.
Yeah, who
Yeah,
knows?
Okay,
How-
so
yeah.
it doesn't actually say how much you get, but the package itself is 6 inches by 6 inches by 4 inches.
Does it have a weight for the package?
It does not.
I feel like we need to look up how much uranium weighs.
A canister apparently this dude had a canister of radioactive powdered uranium and an open bottle of Kentucky Deluxe whiskey
Damn.
during a traffic stop.
At least he's got that good whiskey, because
does.
that's what I believe. Isn't
Yeah.
is Jack Daniel's whiskey? I don't know where my
Yes,
Jack Daniel's.
Jack is whiskey.
Yes, it is.
At least he had that good fucking whiskey.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it has deluxe in the name, so you know it has to be
Oh, yeah,
somewhat
it has to be
decent.
Well,
fire.
It doesn't have to be fire.
It's A1.
It just has to be somewhat decent.
Because if you think about it in regards to like think of it in the terms of books at like Barnes and Noble, almost every like legitimate like author, like serious author, has New York Times #1 bestseller on the title.
Yeah.
So you can put deluxe or supreme
or well, maybe not Supreme because it's a brand. It's a brand now,
We're
so you
looking
can't really
for
put
that
Supreme.
Supreme
But
kind of
deluxe
bug.
or some other like higher quality tag on it for almost anything that you have. So maybe deluxe is just like, hey, you can get this suit or you can get the deluxe suit. And the deluxe suit might just have an extra button. Who knows?
And cost like $1,000.
Oh, definitely.
I'm looking up 6-inch by 6-inch uranium weight.
Oh, in all fairness.
Oh no, it was. I found out that it was apparently powder.
Oh, it was in powder?
Yep, it was powder form.
I mean, we
It's-
can still get the ore.
But it was also in a canister, and that canister had to be lead lined so it wouldn't be the radioactive material wouldn't seep through.
But, like, should I get it, though?
No,
Why not?
I do not want radioactive material in this goddamn apartment.
It'd be fun, though.
I will.
Okay, well, I don't know what the conversion is, but 1 cup of uranium weighs 4.51 kilograms.
4.1 kilograms to pounds is 1 kilogram is 2.5 pounds.
Okay, so it's it's a little bit less. So 1 kilogram is 2.5 pounds, you said?
Yep.
So it's
About 10 pounds.
Yeah, it's about 10. So this guy got pulled over with rattlesnake venom, whiskey.
No, an actual rattlesnake.
Okay,
Like, it was an actual snake.
an actual rattlesnake, some whiskey, and approximately, give or take, 10 pounds of fucking uranium.
Jesus Christ.
Dude, honestly,
You know-
before we started this podcast, I thought you came up with some bullshit
That's a
to bring up
four-man
just
story
like as
right
like
there.
a like filler topic, but this is legit. Like this guy could legitimately pull some terrorist act.
Oh, definitely.
This man
Without
has
a doubt.
20 to life right there.
Oh, yeah.
10 pounds.
For a traffic stop. They found it for at a traffic stop.
Can you imagine if he didn't get stopped, like, what he could have
Because
done with
the
that?
car was reported stolen.
Ooh.
So even in he's carrying that in a stolen car
In a stolen car.
or an what's the word? Starts with an A. Allegedly stolen car.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
That's
Also, real quick, I know we don't have any visual for this podcast, but real quick, and just because I'm a little bit on the tipsy side,
a little bit.
both of you need to look at the LED lights that we have surrounding this little studio. By the way, we are back in Austin's. We're back in Austin and David's apartment, recording in the living room this time. Hopefully, the audio sounds a little better. It didn't sound as echoey
Yeah, it's not
when I did
too
testing.
bad.
Yeah, it's not super bad.
But look at the LED strips that surround this room and squint your eyes. And I don't know why, but it just looks really weird. The fact that all these LEDs, like they create that like flare that goes up and down, like how you see like
Yeah.
traffic lights at night. It's just weird. I don't know. It's just weird. I just saw it and I thought that was a funny thing to put in.
Wish you weren't so fucking awkward, bud.
Yeah, it's just like it like
Hey,
it's just because like you'll
eyelash, make a wish.
Because, like, you'll look at a light or a traffic light, and you'll see, like, the one, and it's just like, oh, it's just a lens flip. Like,
Are you talking about just like at night, or just in general?
well, if you have astigmatism, you see it always, which I don't have it diagnosed, but I believe I have some sort of astigmatism because I almost always see that. But, like, just like the lines that come out from the light, like when you're tired, you squint, or if you have, like, fog on your windshield. Like, you'll see it on a traffic light, and it'll just be, like one line one way, one line the other way, and it looks, whatever. It's just a whatever.
Yeah.
It's just like a flare, like a lens flare for the eyes.
Yes.
But when you look at the LED lights, because of the massive amount of LEDs, it just looks so strange because of the fact of the amount of lights that are actually in that strip.
Yeah, I could see that.
It's weird. But other than that, we usually start off this podcast by asking, whoever is here. Granted, me and Austin are here every week, but David's not. We usually ask what's going on with ourselves during the week, if anything has changed, if any weird things have happened. So we'll start with Austin. We'll circle our way back to me. Anything going on with you? Any things happen this week?
Nothing really too interesting.
Don't mention work because we mention that every week.
Yep. I did purchase the LED lights that are now surrounding part of our apartment.
And oh my god, it's so nice because there's no actual light above this living room area, and because of these LED strips, we can actually see a little bit better besides the light that's in the kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's so nice to actually be able to see in this room.
And I mean, it has the jump feature where it switches from different colors. So
It does.
Like, it just starts looking like a goddamn disco in here.
Dude,
You can
it's,
just go
it's
batshit
nice.
crazy with the lights. Yeah, but I also got 3 new expansions for a game called Munchkin.
Which we are hoping at some point, if we get two different angle cameras, and if I'm able to convince someone I know to be able to sit and actually run OBS software while we're doing the podcast, we're hoping to be able to do like either a video or a live stream of us playing a game of Munchkin, which will almost indefinitely end with David winning because
Probably.
he almost always wins. But it will still be interesting to see how we backstab each other and such as that. So I'm
It's always
hoping
fun.
that this will be able to happen, but I don't know when.
It
But
shouldn't take too long to
regardless, it
figure
would still
out.
be interesting,
Yeah.
especially with these 3 additional packs.
Oh yeah. I mean, personally for me, like that's really about it. David, what happened to you this week?
Absolutely nothing. I'm a boring individual that does nothing but work and come back home and relax.
That's a valid point. I do live with you.
You
I should
had
have known that.
I mean, I work like I know we said we wouldn't be talking about work because Nico said
Well,
that.
the thing is
we do it
Austin,
every week.
Yeah, we do it every week. Austin just usually goes, nothing much. I've been working. I come home. I open a beer. And that's been the general consensus of what he's done during the week. But, like, with you, granted, being new, like, what did you do? Because I actually don't actually know what you do for work.
I am a delivery driver for the one of, if not the largest international shipping company.
That's pretty lit.
Yeah, I work for DHL.
Oh, sick. Yeah, I've seen
Yeah.
DHL. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
I mean, I did nearly throughout this week. I did almost get into 3 car accidents because
People don't know how to drive.
people are stupid.
Yeah, I've seen that. And I'll bring up a story about the idiot drivers here in the Midwest, but go on with what you were saying.
I mean, because it wasn't even hard to realize I had the right of way.
Mm-hmm.
This dude was on their side where, you can take right turns on
Yeah.
red lights. I had a green light. He had a red light. He was stopped. I was probably, I want to say like maybe 4 to 5 feet away from the crosswalk on my side.
Yeah.
And I wasn't going slow. I was going about 40.
Mhm.
This dude just jets around the corner, not even stopping,
Oof.
when I was already halfway in this intersection.
Oof.
So I had to basically stop in the middle of the intersection to avoid hitting this dude.
So were you like going straight and he took like a left across the four-way?
He took a right into a 1 lane.
Oh, okay. I see
Yeah.
what you're saying. That's
Yep.
yeah, that's a little messed up.
Because you know how sometimes there are those 2 lanes
Yeah,
that
like the double
eventually
lane.
merge into just 1 lane.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't like that. It was just a red light that went into just 1 lane.
Ooh.
So I had to basically stop in the middle of the intersection just to avoid hitting him.
That's fucky.
That's a little nuts. That could have been.
It could have ended very badly.
Yeah, that
I mean,
could've-
I would have gotten off work early.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he would. And I don't think even if that accident would have happened, you 100% wouldn't have been at fault for that because
No.
that was 100% just idiocracy on his part.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
I mean, that's pretty much the most eventful thing that's happened this week, and it wasn't even good.
Well, my traffic thing didn't necessarily happen this week, so I'll say that for a little bit after. But during this week, I've obviously gone to and from work because this doesn't support us at all because we aren't able to monetize anything that we've done yet, and then we don't have a Patreon or anything like that, so we can't get money from this yet. So this is all out of the goodness of our own hearts and our own time, which it generally takes me. On podcasts, I have to edit, which I don't know necessarily how much I'll have to edit on this because there's 3
No
people
idea.
that kind of it's more of a filler because I usually have to edit the blank spaces, but it usually takes me with blank spaces probably like 4 hours
Damn.
to edit to upload. Like it's not even close to other like creators on the YouTube platform, because they'll put in like 8 to 10
Oh yeah.
to cut audio and video and synchronize it and everything.
Especially when they put up like 2 to 3 video, or try to put up like 2 to 3 videos a day.
Yeah, it's absolutely
It's
nuts.
insane. And they spend literally 12 to 16 hours
Just
editing.
Yeah, at least at the minimum. But aside from editing and going to work, I haven't done much. But I do have a ton of packages coming in from. I usually buy them from Wish, which is not the best quality stuff, but sometimes it comes through with like some fun stuff. Like I'm wearing a sleeveless thin hoodie that I actually got off of Wish that fits pretty well and is really, really comfortable. So I'm happy with that. And we're not sponsored by Wish. I'm just kind of shouting out this specific seller, which I don't know the name. I apologize. But it's pretty awesome. But I have a different, thicker hoodie that's also sleeveless coming in. I got an ocarina. So I have like the actual Zelda with the actual Triforce on the mouthpiece itself. I have an actual ocarina that's coming in.
Trying to be Link.
I'm not trying to be Link. I'm not a big Zelda fanboy.
If anybody here who could be Link, it's me.
Negative. I'm small.
Not off of looks, but off of off of a fandom standpoint, I would agree with that, because you are very much into the Zelda franchise.
It's tattooed to my arm.
Yeah, you do have the Master Sword tattooed on your forearm.
Fuck yeah, I do.
And because we're not using OBS yet, I can't put that in. But maybe I'll put that in at a later point.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah. But I have that coming in. I have a bunch of fuck Trump bumper stickers, which we're not a political podcast. And like, I don't like Trump. I'll say that straight off. I don't like Trump, but I also don't think I would have liked Hillary. So either way, whoever would have won, I still would have had the fuck insert candidate here.
Not
Bumper
gonna lie,
sticker.
when you said the bumper sticker, I thought you said fuck trombone.
What the fuck? Fuck trombones.
Yeah, it's a trombone. It has like, it's just trombone.
It
The
has a
sound waves
toupee.
say fuck Trump, but it's all like that basic Microsoft Word wavy font.
It's just a trombone wearing a toupee.
Definitely.
Yeah, I have that coming in. I think I have one other thing from Wish, but also, strange thing that happened this week that I'm hoping we can actually turn into some sort of sponsorship for this podcast.
Okay.
And I don't know if I've told Austin. I know David doesn't know. I have become a brand ambassador for Apache Pine Outdoor Company.
You've not told me this.
I have not told you this. It pretty much, they make like genuine wood, high quality watches that are not the most expensive like Rolex watches, but they're not like cheap Walmart stuff. It's genuine wood that they actually shave down to make into a watch, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
They also have pocket knives. They have apparel. They have really cool wallets, which I actually have one coming out. I bought one of those, which is really nice.
Nice.
And I have some Apache Pine bumper stickers coming in, and a hat, because the hat and bumper stickers came with my sponsorship, which is pretty nice.
Wait, you said they have knives, right?
You're getting
Yes, they
a
do.
hat made out of wood?
No.
Oh,
Okay.
fuck. Okay.
Okay, I'll clarify. I think David was being just a pain in the ass.
I mean, that's
But
just who I am.
Not everything is made out of wood. Like the handles of Apache Pine is made out of actual the company themselves, I believe. I don't know necessarily the specifics because I'm not that higher up yet. But I believe that those are actual aspen. I want to say aspen or something else. I can't think of the other types of trees.
Yeah, it's...
But I believe it's aspen trees that they have themselves, like they grow and they cut down and they use this wood to make the specific, like the handles for these knives, and then they wood burn in the designs on it. They're like, I'll show you guys after the podcast because they're so freaking cool.
I might have to order one.
Yeah, they are legitimately cool. They're not like straight blade full tang blades. They're more of you can flick it out and it has that lock mechanism, so you have to push in the lock and fold it back up. But they're really cool looking. I love the designs, and especially I'll show you guys the wallets. The wallets are beautiful. And they actually have one called the Nomad wallet.
Wow.
Okay, not gonna lie though.
What's up?
I actually would kind of be interested in a wallet made of wood.
That'd be kind of fucky.
The wallets themselves are not made of wood.
I mean,
Damn
it
it.
would be cool though.
Yeah, that would be legitimately like, because like I'm almost certain every guy is coming into the issue where you have too much cash in combination with cards and like maybe coupons or other receipts in your wallet, so that your wallet, like the leather, actually folds out.
Mm-hmm.
The wallets that they make, it's a metal with screws and a elastic kind of.
Oh,
I've
so
seen something like
so
that.
so it's like each side is metal and it's connected by like an elastic band. That
Yes,
allows
and
it to fold.
And I haven't got the wallet yet, so I haven't been able to actually look at it specifically. But from the pictures I've seen, it looks like all like the two, like the left, the right, and the bottom are screwed in with these screws,
Okay.
but it's still able to hold up to 12 cards. And from the looks of it, the front and back are flat. So I have no idea how it works. And maybe I'm just being stupid. I'm not able to figure it out. Because I'm not the most
probably.
intelligent being on the planet. But it looks really cool. And the one I got actually has like a line art, like kind of graphic art wolf print on it. And it looks really, really nice. So that happened to me this week, which is pretty fucking sweet. I'll eventually I'll have a link. I'll put it in our Twitter. I'll put it in our Twitter, the link to actually click through to actually go through that, because that'll actually end up supporting our podcast in some way. Because if you go through that, I get a certain amount of commission, which I haven't figured out yet with the company, because I haven't emailed any of them yet. But they'll get a certain amount, and I'll put the commission from that towards the podcast, so we can actually end up getting higher quality, maybe get some like soundproofing a little bit, so wherever we are, we'll actually have better quality.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's generally what happened to me this week. Besides, just a massive fucked work week. I made a crazy Minecraft house today. That's about the most eventful thing that happened.
It took him 7 hours to build that shit.
I started working on that at if my wife got off work at 12, which is 7. Yeah, I think she worked till 12. She might have worked till 2. So either 12 or 12:30 to 2:30 is when I started. And when did you get to my house? Probably 9.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
So somewhere around 6 to 8.5 hours to make this house. And from above, it doesn't look like much, but it's mad.
It's pretty fucky.
But because of the fact I believe that I've been drinking, I have to pee again. Which I peed just before we started this too. I'm sorry.
I told you not to break the seal.
No, you didn't.
I did though.
You did though.
Okay, well then I didn't hear you because I don't care.
Well then, in that case, David, take over because I have to go too.
What the fuck? You're
Okay,
leaving?
I'll
You're on your own
let
tonight.
Austin go first. Me and David will talk, and we'll try to come up with a discussion while we're doing that for you and him to talk about while I go.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so
I'll be right back, guys.
you get the fuck out of here.
I mean, I was gonna say something while you were talking about that company that does stuff with trees.
Go ahead. Yeah, what are you gonna say?
It's an aspen because of the way it is.
Dude, that is legitimately. I've seen that video. I've seen that video.
That's pretty neat.
Do you know the creator's name? Just so we can
No.
shout. Okay.
I really don't.
I will try to figure that out. And if I do figure it out, I'll do my best to remember to put it in right here.
All I know is that I'm pretty sure that's off of the dude who does the nature walk shit,
I'll try.
where it's
But I'll put in the audio clip right here. And if I wasn't able to do that, then I'm sorry. But pretty much the premise of it is the guy's doing a nature walk, and it's a very, I would say, more so meta.
Wait, we're still talking about this?
Yes, you were outside for 3 seconds.
Oh, fuck, alright.
They know how long you were outside. I'm not cutting this part because we've been talking back and forth.
yeah.
Okay.
I found it.
Okay, what's it?
I was right. It is the nature walk guy.
Nature walk?
Yeah, nature, like NEATURE,
URE and then walk?
and
Is it
walk.
one word or 2 words?
2 words.
2 words. Okay. So essentially, the premise of that specific clip that he brought in is he's just the guy is walking around like nature, and I believe he has like one of those like floppy hats. Like he looks like he looks like a safari bitch, and he walks up and he goes, "You see this here's an aspen. You can tell it's an aspen because of the way it is." And then he like kind of strokes the tree and walks away. It's fantastic.
It's so perfect.
And since we ended on this, you two talk about trees you like while I pee. Good luck.
I mean, I really like mahogany.
I've always loved a pretty thick oak.
I mean, why thick though?
I mean, you don't want a thin oak.
True.
Like here's the think treehouse based. What are you gonna put your treehouse in?
Mahogany.
That's too expensive. You gotta go with the cheap oak.
Gotta go with that cheap shit, cause I ain't spending oodles and oodles of cash on making my treehouse out of mahogany.
Mahogany.
I don't know. I just love saying the word mahogany. It's weird.
It's a weird word. It's a really weird word to say.
It's like guacamole.
So is bowl.
Bowl.
Like if you just say it over and over, just bowl. It stops sounding like a word.
It stops sounding like a word.
It's really weird, but I really enjoy it.
Oh,
Bowl.
speaking of words that sound weird, there's my favorite word, which I've told Austin this numerous times because it is just the greatest thing ever. It is the word hippopotamonstrossequipedalophobia, which is the phobia of long words. And it is amazing.
How did we get on this? Because I'm back. I have peed.
Literally, we went from trees to starting talking about words that if you start saying them enough, they just stop sounding like words. And then I said, my favorite word is this.
And then you walked in.
You walked in.
There you go. You're all caught up.
Yeah. Well, I'm. Thank you for catching me up on that. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
But generally, I think in my opinion, it may be other people's opinion, any word that you say enough doesn't sound like an actual word.
Well,
Pikachu.
that's not a word. That's a name.
It's a word.
Jinx!
A name is a word, is it not?
No, it actually isn't.
It's
How do you figure?
Because it's not a word.
It's not, because it's not in the English dictionary. It has to be in the dictionary.
You know, that's a fair point. That's a
What
fair
about
point.
Urban Dictionary?
Urban Dictionary doesn't. Urban Dictionary does count.
Urban Dictionary is not an official
impediment.
So do I.
Urban Dictionary is not an official recognized dictionary.
It actually is. It actually is.
It is.
Okay, then technically names are words.
Nope. There are only certain names that are actually in the Urban Dictionary, and Pikachu is not one of them.
I can.
Why the fuck did you look that up?
You know what? While we debate this, I believe I have the Urban Dictionary app.
That is
Jesus
amazing.
Christ.
Dude, you need to understand, like, after I got my new phone, I have so much space for apps. I have so many apps, and I believe I have the Urban Dictionary one because of the fact
that he can just have random bullshit on his phone.
Pretty much.
No, not for Urban Dictionary. The reason I got Urban Dictionary as an app, which I actually don't think I still have, which is unfortunate.
Just go on Google and type in Urban Dictionary. You'll find it.
It's easy as shit.
I'm going to re-download it. The reason that I had Urban Dictionary initially is because of the fact that I put in a request. And and Austin was there for it because he was in the car with me. Oh, you know what? I do have it. I just didn't see it.
Way to go, dumbass.
But the reason...
This man has an excuse. He's been drinking.
What I put in is a word... Oh, I typed in Pikachu.
Nice.
That is a card from Munchkin, by the
is.
way.
Pikachu. Search.
Did you spell it correct?
It is in here.
It is?
It is.
Pikachu. Something that cops should yell when tasing someone.
That
See?
doesn't count.
Fuck you. It is a word.
That doesn't
The
count.
other instance, Pikachu, is Japan's Mickey Mouse.
That still does not count.
It's in Urban
Fat
Dictionary.
ass
therefore it is a
yellow
name.
wombat.
Fat Yes, yellow
What the fuck?
wombat.
There's also a definition of what Pikachu is in the Pokemon franchise.
Well, of course.
Another one. A misunderstood yellow rat-like creature that often shows up on the show Pokemon. Okay, that's another one. That's another Pokemon reference. Okay, so aside from from the first two that I said, something cops should yell when tasing someone in Japan's Mickey Mouse.
That doesn't
Regardless, it's still in Urban Dictionary.
Therefore,
Whether or not
it is a word.
Whether or not it counts as a definition in your personal sense, it is still in Urban Dictionary. Therefore, you've been proven wrong.
I have been proven
on
wrong.
that specific sense.
I will admit that.
But
for Austin's argument, it does not count.
But on the specific sense of why I had Urban Dictionary,
Okay.
because this is actually something funny. We were driving away from mine and Austin's old job where we worked together. It was the smoke shop in our local town.
Was it the
And
smoke shop or was it
we-
Cutco?
No, we were driving back from the smoke shop because I remember because we were right next to the where Hollywood Video used to be.
Ah, yeah.
We were leaving the parking lot. And I saw a group of middle to early high school white girls all wearing a certain color of like hoodie with or like sweater, I guess would be the right word because it doesn't have a hood on it. Sweater, black leggings, and Ugg boots. Every single one of them had that, and they were all the same color.
Basic.
Yes.
Basic
and a lot of them
bitches.
were carrying Starbucks Frappuccino.
Oh, total basic.
Yeah, mad basic. They were all almost all of them were carrying the same thing. And so I deemed a group of basic white girls as a frap.
Oh,
a frappe.
God.
Yes, a frap.
That is what I deemed it as a group of crows called a murder. Mm-hmm. And there's many names for a group of sharks.
Yeah.
But like a group of crows specifically, because that's what I remember, is called a murder.
Mm-hmm.
And so I deemed a group of, I want to say it was 3 or more basic white bitches as a frap. And so I re-downloaded probably about 2 months ago. I re-downloaded the app just to check and see if I got an approved because I never got an email or something from it. And I was like, oh, I didn't. And then I kept scrolling through and I was like, oh my God, there I am. And I got approved as a definition.
That's
Which is-
awesome.
So on
weird
Urban
as shit.
Dictionary, you can look up
The word
frap,
frap.
Frappe. I don't remember if the accent's over the E, but try it with both. If you scroll, I don't know how high I am on the definitions, but you'll find me, I'm under Graceful Nomad. There's my actual definition in Urban Dictionary, and I'm very proud of that because I actually got Are you looking it up?
Yes, I'm
Yeah,
looking it up
I
right
was
now.
just about to say, since
'cause
no
I
one can
can-
actually see this,
Yeah, 'cause-
Austin is actually grabbing his phone
Yeah, I'm
to
looking
look
it
it
up
up.
right now.
We're gonna. I'm gonna race him to it just to see if I can actually beat him to it.
I'm just gonna sit here watching these idiots look up the word.
Well, there's
Frap.
a few people that say that's like it's different. Oh, there I am, right there. I'll hand my phone over to David. Graceful Nomad, right there. Read it out loud to the mic.
A group of stereotypical white girls, open parentheses, Uggs, black yoga pants, all in the same jacket, close parentheses,
In
walking
public.
together in public, usually
With
with
Starbucks
Starbucks
coffee.
coffee.
Yes.
Watch out for the frap moving towards us. Don't want to get trampled.
Yeah. And what's the name underneath that? What's the name in bold?
Graceful _nomad.
And that
There
is
it is. I've actually been published on.
Because I guess Urban Dictionary doesn't allow spaces.
No, it does.
Then why didn't you put a space instead of an underscore?
The reasoning is because my online profile on PlayStation,
yes.
and that I've actually ended
I
up
have
putting.
you added.
Do you really?
I do.
What's your
It is Blue Falcon.
buddy fucker?
I
Yeah,
am.
he's buddy fucker.
Holy shit, he's buddy fucker.
He's buddy
Dude,
fucker.
I
I
didn't
am.
know that. I've avoided playing with you for so long.
Why?
Because you're buddy
Because
fucker.
of my name?
Yes.
No, it's not because of his name. It's because you were a random person that I remember Austin's like, oh, I know this guy. He didn't say, oh, he's so-and-so's roommate, or he's this, or he's this. He just says, I know this guy. I've played with him. And this was like a year and a half, 2 years ago.
Yep.
And I remember playing with you on, I want to say either Division or Ghost Recon Wildlands.
I don't remember this.
Or maybe we didn't play together. Maybe you just tried to join our lobby.
I don't think it was either of those. I think.
Okay, then maybe you just tried to join mine and his party. But I remember I added you to make sure I could put you into a private party. And I didn't play with you because I thought you were just some random dude that he knew. And I was like, oh, there's no connection there. I didn't know you were actually Buddy Fucker, dude.
Yes, that is me.
Oh my god, that's dope. I didn't know that at all. That's crazy.
And for all of you people who don't know what a Blue Falcon is, it is a military term for, as they have been saying, buddy fucker.
Yeah, well, it
just means that a Blue Falcon is literally somebody who does something during training or something like that to
Fuck their
intentionally or unintentionally fuck everybody over.
Don't throw a Nerf dart at his head.
Yeah, I while he was saying that, I threw a Nerf dart at his head. It bounced off very satisfyingly.
Yes, it did.
It did quite.
It actually did.
But yeah, surprise to me. I didn't know that that David was Buddy Fucker.
Yeah.
Blue Falcon. I did not know that. But yeah, the reason that I put the underscore in the name is because of the fact that online, because they don't generally allow spaces, I don't think in online name tags.
They don't.
I put an underspace for Graceful Nomad, and that's why I put it in with anything else, just because so it can be linked back to me.
Mm-hmm.
If per se that it does become something, there's actual proof that it is me. Just for bragging rights, essentially.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know the thing I don't like about online stuff, since we're already on the topic?
What's up?
Go on.
During online, like, naming yourself, like, your online profile or something like that, if you have a certain combination of letters, whether it be the actual word or not, if it has any combination of the letters in the name, most online services will not allow you to do it because it is too close to a either profanity or racial slur.
I can see where that would become an issue.
Like one of my friends, he tries to use the word midnight, but because it has NIG, all online services will not allow the name.
Wow.
See, I haven't come across to that because I'll probably end up bleeping out what my actual gamer tags are, just in case anyone does eventually listen to this, aside from the 40 so viewers that we actually have. Aside from that, the only things I've come across from is my gamer tags have been The Goods Jr., Park and Recs, which actually came from because my brother used to work for Parks and Recreation here.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so he used to work with that, and I had his hoodie on, and I was like, oh, that'll be good. That was my Xbox tag. And then eventually I created a new gamer tag when I got my PS4, which is Graceful Nomad. So I haven't really come across any of the, might be a racial slur thing, but that kind of sucks.
Yeah, right?
It really does.
That, especially if you've had that tag for a while.
He uses it for any kind of service that actually does allow him to use that. He uses it.
Oof.
That's a little fucked.
Yeah, right.
I'm not gonna lie.
Like I'm pretty sure he. I really don't know, but I'm pretty sure he actually probably has. He actually has this set up as his actual like name, because like on PlayStation you can request actual names.
Yeah.
He has it set up as his actual name because he doesn't. He's weird about it.
Well, yeah, but I mean that would make sense. Like if I was, like, granted, we're only in probably I would say aside from I didn't really use Live on the original Xbox, although it did have it.
Yeah.
I would say, including that, we're only in the third generation of consoles where you can actually use online play.
Well, not counting like PC.
Well, yeah, not counting PC. I'm saying like actual,
Console-wise.
Console-wise.
Technically, a PC is a console.
Okay, we're not going to get into technicalities because a PC is also a computer.
Yeah, I know.
Which is connected to the internet by not
default.
Not by default, but like in today's day and age, I would say 98% are connected to some form of internet.
Yeah.
But in console-wise, i.e. Sony, Microsoft, Nintendo, and now, unfortunately, the Soulja Boy console.
Excuse me?
Yeah, we'll get into that in a second. I'll look up the story so I can give you the specific details.
Okay, because I need to know about this.
But we're only technically, granted, it wasn't streamlined in the PS2 and the original Xbox.
Towards the end of the PlayStation 2
Yeah,
era.
towards the end they got it right. But we're only technically in the third generation. But I could see, like, if I, for like 5 generations, have been using Graceful Nomad or The Goods Jr. or anything like that, if I couldn't use that gamer tag, I can see where he's coming from, where he would just make his legitimate name that actual tag so he could still have some form of that connected to it.
Yeah.
Because it's
No, I understand like why he did it, but it's still kind of dumb that Sony or Microsoft or even PC or even Steam doesn't allow certain names just because of the fact that they're too close to like racial slurs or stuff like that.
Yeah, I think it's dumb that the actual companies themselves don't allow it, but I don't think it's dumb that he did it. I don't think it's dumb that he said his name as that. Yeah.
Yeah, no.
But like, yeah, I could see, because like it's like having a license plate that you've had for a while. Like if you had a vanity plate for your car that said like, for you, like if it said like David number 1.
Yeah.
Which like, granted, that's really
Stupid as shit.
Yeah, it'd be a really stupid license plate, I think.
Yeah, no.
Just because it's basic. But like if you have that license plate since your first car, and then
just for some reason I couldn't have it anymore, I'd be really upset about it.
Yeah.
I understand where he's coming from. Yeah.
Yeah, I could feel that as well. So like it's along the same lines as that. Like if you've had that for 12 years or whatever of driving your car, and all of a sudden you couldn't have that actual license plate,
Yeah.
like that would suck, because it's an identifier.
Yeah.
Like it's a certain thing attached to your actual like being, something that actually means something to you. So I can see where that's coming from. But on the subject of the Soulja Boy console,
Oh god.
that I mentioned to you earlier,
Oh god.
actually the story that I found, which I just clicked the link, the first link that I found, because it's hard for me to multitask, especially when I'm a little bit on the tipsy side. This article is actually titled "Soulja Boy's Emulator Consoles Meet Their Inevitable End."
Thank
So
God.
this is actually the
The end
congratulations, you've survived through the entire thing by a few months, because apparently it ended
without even knowing about it.
Yep.
December 31st of 18. So it's
fuck.
been they've been dead for about 7 months. But from what I understand, Soulja Boy bought these off-brand emulator consoles from China,
Okay.
and he essentially just bought them in bulk, rebranded them as the Soulja Boy console, and then sold them. And it's just a basic emulator console, so you can just download games to it, much like a PC,
Yeah.
and then you can play it through your TV. So it's essentially a PC box, but it doesn't do everything a PC does.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's literally just a dumbed down PC that has a controller. And so you could, but on the side of that, like, granted, it's a stupid marketing move for him, because like just buying off-brand consoles and then
And like
especially emulator consoles.
yeah, and like also kind of just I feel
Why?
like Soldier Boy is just in this day and age is kind of just irrelevant now.
Yeah,
Pretty much,
yeah.
yeah.
Well, that's why he did it. He felt irrelevant, and then he decided to make his own console, trying to make money.
Hey guys, I have a really good idea. Let's take my name and brand it as a video game console.
Yeah, but I do like the emulator idea,
Yeah.
because it would be, personally for me, like, granted, now.
Wait, I feel like that's already a thing though.
Well, yes, that's what I'm getting to.
I'm not
with-
talking about like PC and like just PC. I'm
Yeah.
talking about like the emulator system where you could do like online games and shit.
Yeah.
Is already a thing.
Yeah.
specifically for one specific. Like, I would, for a long time, I couldn't do this, but now that the Switch has come out, I have been able to. For the longest time, I could not. I wanted to play PlayStation, or not PlayStation. God, I wanted to play Pokemon on my TV.
Yep.
Which now the Switch has come out with, what was the
Let's go.
yeah, Pokemon
Let's
Let's
Go
Go
Pikachu
Pikachu and Let's Go
Eevee.
Eevee. I've been able to do that, which is like just been a long time dream of mine, that I've been able to play it on like higher graphic scale on my TV with a controller, because personally for me it feels more natural that way.
Yeah.
Just because of how long I've been playing with console. But for the longest time, I couldn't do that. And if Soulja Boy had come out with an emulator console, like, we'll say 8 years ago, so I would have been, like, what, I'm 22 and a half, so I would have been, like, 14. If he would have come out with that when I was, like, 14, 15 years old, I would have bought the shit out of that.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Because a friend of mine, and granted, I can't generally confirm it because they have similar usernames. The only difference is like maybe numbers or exclamations. He made an emulator called Pokemon Dark Crystal.
Okay.
Which is essentially, it's the same thing as like Pokemon Crystal, and I don't remember what the counterpart is to that. I
don't know.
Gem, probably.
Maybe something like that, because I know
something
Silver
weird.
and Gold had that, and then
Yeah.
there's red and blue, and then the off-brand,
Green.
yeah, green, which was as far
Which
as I
isn't
know,
really, which isn't an off-brand. It's actually a combination of both red and blue. It just adds another legendary to it.
yeah, but I didn't mean off-brand. I meant so much as it's more of a rarity because I have
Yeah.
not seen very much green. But
I have it, by the way.
yeah, I can't think of the name offhand for the opposer to Crystal, but it's essentially that game. But he modified it. Like the one thing that sticks in my head that the only thing I can really remember is I know you start out with a one of the starter Pokemons, and then you are able to catch. Like say I started out with Squirtle. At some point during the game,
You're able to catch Charmander and Bulbasaur.
yeah, Charmander and Bulbasaur. Which again, you can do that now in the Let's Go.
Yeah, and you also technically could have done. You could also do it with the older versions. You just have to do weird bullshit.
Yeah, the one that ended.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you play through Kanto, you go through a tunnel, and then you're in
Yep.
Johto. Yeah, but a lot of people didn't do that.
Pretty much
But
no one did.
it pretty much you could catch all three within the first I'd say 2 to 3 towns that you go into.
That
So like that stuck out to me, and also the fact one of the things that you do if you walk up and talk to a guy outside of a building is you climb the building. And granted, the graphics aren't fantastic. It's essentially the same top down, but you kind of just like it looks like you're walking up the graphic of the building. But you had to do it correctly to actually get up there and then help with whatever he needed. Like maybe I want to say it was a letter that blew up from the wind. But that's one of the things that stuck out to me because I don't know why, but that's just that specific sequence is stuck in my brain.
hey, go grab my frisbee that I accidentally threw on the top
Yeah,
of
it's
my
just
house.
well, like there's
much,
stupid missions like that in Pokemon, which is like, oh no, my frisbee, it went all the way over there. Can you go help it? Can you go get it for me? I'm just a little boy. And then it's just like,
just a
okay,
little
sure.
boy.
And then you have to go through and maybe you have to fight 1 or 2 people, and then you get the frisbee. You walk back and like, oh, thank you. Here it is, potion.
Can I just say, you said you have to, when you said you have to fight like 1 or 2 people, can I just say random encounters in Pokemon is kind of absurd because it's not even really all that random, especially with other trainers that are on like the routes that you have to go through.
You see them before
You
you
see
fight
them before you fight them, and then even if they're off screen, they still somehow see you, and you still have to
The
fight
thing
them.
is, they can still hold the term of random encounters because of the fact that they rotate.
Some of them, yes.
A lot. Well, yes, but the people that don't
That's-
rotate aren't. I don't believe are deemed by Nintendo or maybe encoding technically as random encounters. Those specific people are people you need to fight, but a lot
Yeah.
of them do like they turn left, right, up, down, whatever, and you can avoid them. So those are technically deemed as random encounters, even though they are in the same exact position. It's just dependent on how you progress through that area.
I could see that.
yeah.
I mean, personally, I always just grinded for my Pokemon in the beginning.
Yeah, I remember playing Gold on
Game Boy Color.
No.
was when
Oh,
it
yeah.
came out.
It wasn't even the color because I was when the color came out, I was still too young to have a console
Yeah.
kind of thing.
I mean,
like a
when
handheld.
when the color came out, I'm the oldest out of all 3 of us.
Are you? You're older than me.
I'm 23.
Oh shit, you are older than me.
Yep.
Damn.
I'm the oldest out of all 3 of us, and I was even too young. I think I was like, I want to say I was probably like 3 or 4 when the color came out. Somewhere around there. I probably wasn't even born, because
Well, no, you were definitely born.
I don't think so.
No, because Pokemon itself as a show
Came out
in '96.
The actual game came out before I was born. It came out in 1995.
You were born in.
I was born in 96.
Oh, so you're not much older than me.
I am not.
Okay, that's where I got confused. 'Cause
I learned
I
something new
assumed
Yep.
that you were 95.
The only reason I know that is because when you start up Emerald or any of the other game or any of the previous games.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, I did say that.
They say when Game Freak was established, which Game Freak is the creator of the Pokemon games. Yep.
Alrighty then, I learned something new.
They say when Game Freak was established until the date that game came out.
Well, speaking of freaks, are you guys gonna raid Area 51 with me?
No.
We'll talk about that in 1 second.
Okay, I can wait.
The Game Boy Color came out October 21st, one day after my birthday in 1998. So the Color came out approximately when me and you were probably about 2.5 at that point. So still too young to have that handheld.
Yeah, totally. I wouldn't
But-
have even known what to do with it.
But yeah, I do remember playing. I forgot. Oh yeah, because you were saying about grinding with your Pokemon. I do remember playing Gold on, I believe, my Game Boy SP,
I remember that.
because that I believe that's still
It still had the cartridge thing.
it's still
for the-
supported. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, I remember playing that on my purple Game Boy SP, and I remember starting a game, and I just for some reason I didn't know how to. Probably because I was young, I didn't remember how to switch the order of where the Pokemon were, and so I grinded with one I caught, which was a Pidgey, and that ended up going into a Pidgeotto or a Pidgeot.
It's Pidgeotto than Pidgeot.
Yeah, so it ended up being a Pidgeot, and it was massively high level. And then my starter, I think I might have gotten it to the second stage evolution, at most.
That's funny.
Jesus.
But
because hearing that and then going to how I played it, my starter was always my highest level.
Oh yeah.
My
Every time.
starter would always get to level 99 when all of my other Pokemon were still at like level 50.
well, once I started actually like understanding the mechanics of it, because granted at that point I was maybe 6, like 6 to 8. I didn't know the mechanics that well, but once I did. That is 100% what I did. My starter was always my highest, and I always had like the second and third. I always occasionally on trainer battles and maybe occasionally gyms, I'd switch them out just so they can get additional experience from that, so they weren't as sucky. So when I actually got to the end stages, like Elite Four, and maybe the 7th or 8th gym, I actually had someone else.
XP share, bro.
Yeah, the
That's where it
XP
was
share
at.
is definitely nice, especially. I think they talked about on the Switch the fact that everyone gets experience from it.
Yeah.
They did that because of the younger kids that are playing Pokemon. They don't necessarily think
they don't understand.
they
like,
can't grasp the
Yeah.
XP share concept. Yeah, but switching over 180.
What the fuck?
What were
was
you
that?
saying about Area 51?
I kind of wanted to say one more thing about Pokemon.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
yeah,
And
go
it's
ahead.
about the new games that are coming out.
Sword and Shield?
Sword and Shield.
I talked about this with Austin, and I don't know if anybody who's listening actually knows about the games. One of the new legendary Pokemon in Sword of Shield literally looks like a boss from the game Dark Souls.
Yeah, probably.
It is.
I'm guessing it's the Shield.
It is actually the sword.
Oh really? I haven't played Dark Souls, so I don't necessarily know. But
It
I know
is-
I know
You
what
don't
I
play
know
Dark
what the
Souls.
legendaries look like in Sword and Shield.
It
So
is
that does
the
surprise
sword. It is literally the boss in Dark Souls is called Sif, Great Wolf Sif,
Oh.
and I feel like Nintendo just asked FromSoft, "Hey, can we just steal your design and make it our own?"
I mean, probably.
Well, I don't even think they needed to ask,
I
because
feel
they
like
changed
it's
they
the-
changed the design to a Pokemon, like that kind of
If
level
you
animation.
if you actually look at a side by side, really the only thing that's different is the fur looks spiky, the color is changed. That's about it.
Okay, well, if I end up looking at it side by side, I'll insert it here. And if I don't, just trust David.
Because they hold the sword in the exact same way, the exact same direction, and their stance is exactly the same.
Well, holding the sword with hilt with the blade facing for the viewer left. Yeah, for the viewer left, I feel like that's more natural of a way to hold it. Just because most people are
True.
right-handed, so right to left is the natural sword motion.
Yeah.
But other than that, yeah, I guess with the other design, yeah, that would make sense that they kind of just took the whole
Yeah.
deal.
Now we can go to Austin's Area 51
Area
raid.
51
'cause
talk.
in my opinion, this is just the dumbest thing I've heard all day.
Yeah, give a little background for anyone who doesn't know what this is.
So basically, I believe it's September 20th.
September 20th, 2019.
Earlier this week, I was talking to David around there's roughly 400,000 people that were going to rate it.
Earlier today.
Oh, it was earlier today? Okay. Well, I got some new information from my friend over here.
Yeah, I gave him a little tidbit of info while we were driving around getting.
Is that about the weird time traveler dude?
No,
But
yes,
I'll mention that after so I can get the details correctly. But I mentioned this specific fact that Austin's going to state while we were driving around today.
So it's no longer 400,000.
No, sir.
It is 800,000.
Fuck
And
off.
I saw that post 1 to 2 days ago.
Fuck off.
It is almost at 1 million.
That is actually dumb.
That is absolutely insane.
It is insane and dumb at the same time.
Like I just want
Do you know how many people are actually guarding Area 51?
Not 800,000.
Not 800,000, but they have enough. They have enough firepower to stop
they have
800,000
enough
people.
munitions for it.
But before we get into the talk about firepower and strategy, what's the basis of this Area 51 story?
I mean, as far as I'm aware, people just want to raid it and just figure out what the fuck is actually in there.
Yeah,
Nothing.
We don't know that.
The general idea of what this is someone posted on Facebook hey, let's all raid Area 51 because can't
aliens and shit.
No, not even because of that. Because they can't stop all of us.
That's not
Which
true.
it's inaccurate because they definitely can.
They definitely
But
can.
through
and
I
will.
would probably say about a month and a half that it's been up there, or at least been in the public eye.
Mm-hmm.
Over 800,000 people have signed on that they are going to do this because it's some kind of Facebook event.
Mm-hmm.
And so pretty much the premise of it is everyone meets up at the Area 51
border.
No, not at the border.
Area 51 has its own border.
Oh, yes,
yeah.
I know this. I know that. But they're meeting up at the Area 51 Alien Spectacle tourist attraction.
Okay.
Which is a little bit farther from the actual border. So they're going to all meet up there, get into groups for the attack strategy, go to their attack positions, and then essentially just Naruto run at Area 51 and hope that not all of them get massacred.
I was about to say, I hope all of these people know if they do this, they are most likely either going to A, be captured and like
Heavily interrogated,
or just completely murdered.
Oh yeah. I mean, as far as I'm aware, like before they break in, hypothetically, the guards can use non-lethal force.
Yeah, going into out of the basic idea and going into the strategy.
If the thing about this is if the guards know they have intent on breaking in and looking and because all of the stuff in Area 51 was even above my security clearance, which I had top secret. It was above that, meaning if the guards know that they have intent on learning any of this information,
and especially if they're on private
they
property,
have their own authority to kill them on site.
Yeah, especially because of the fact that Area 51 passed that first, and because I know just from looking at other people, like mainly on YouTube, that have gone to that specific attraction just to vlog, like, oh my god, I'm at the border. They have one basis border that has, I believe, night vision and thermal cameras up at
24/7.
24/7 specific posts. And then about a mile in from that, they have another security checkpoint that is always manned.
Yep.
that you have to go through, and then it's about another quarter to half mile, and then you hit the actual Area 51 site. So past that first checkpoint, you are technically on government private property, and because of the fact that you are doing so with malicious intent, they do have the right to shoot. But my side point on that is, if so, they do shoot, right? Mm-hmm. While they do have the right, I don't believe that they would even, because the government has been known to cover things up, certain things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't believe that they would be able to...
Not just certain things.
Yeah.
A lot of things.
I don't believe they'll be able to cover up the fact of massacring the potential, say only half of the actual people signed up show up.
Yeah, it's still 400,000.
Yeah, it's still, they won't be able to cover up the fact that 400,000 people
are now dead.
Got gunned down by the government. And even if that information comes out and they're like, oh yeah, they got gunned down,
technically they wouldn't have to, because of the fact that they did trespass on government property. They wouldn't have to cover it up.
Well, yes, true. But the fact that, because let's just say, because near us there's Camp Ripley.
Yep.
If 400,000 people raided Camp Ripley, what would they do?
Well, seeing as how I've been there multiple times,
yeah.
Yep.
They wouldn't really do much. Pretty much the MPs, which is military police, they would just either A, tell everybody to leave, or B, forcefully make them leave.
Yes, or detained and arrested.
Yeah.
But
you guys have 400,000 people showed up to
Ripley.
Ripley.
Oh, there's enough people at Ripley, trust me.
Yeah, I do believe that. But
there is.
On the subject of Area 51, with what we're thinking of, they're going to be using, tear gas, concussion grenades, whatever forces they can to stop
riot
people.
Gear, basically.
The fact that they're willing to use that much force to stop people from coming in.
It means there has to be something
There's got to be something in there.
I don't think it's what everybody is thinking it actually is. I don't
but
think
there's
it's
some kind of secret.
There's some kind of secret, yes.
There's something nuts
in there.
in there.
But I don't think it's what everybody thinks it is.
And everyone thinks it's aliens.
I just think, in my opinion, I think it's just weapons of mass destruction that the government doesn't want the populace to know about.
Yeah, like some kind of mega nuke.
Yeah, something like that.
Like, imagine Hiroshima, but the entire country of Japan.
Think of the Fat Man, but 10 times bigger.
Yeah.
The mega fat man.
Yeah, the mega Fat Man.
But, so I don't think there's any way they could cover up the fact that they would be massacring even the potential of 400,000 people.
Yeah, and I don't
granted, there could be more, there could be less, whatever.
I don't even think they would.
But, what Austin was talking about with the time-traveling kid, the basic theory that I thought of, I don't know if anyone else has come up with this, and if they have, credits to them. But I have not seen so. In November of 2018, there was a 16-year-old from Russia, Czechoslovakia, whatever, that said that he was a time traveler from the future. Probably 10 years in the future.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
And he called one event... He pretty much laid out a list of things that were going to happen. And I don't remember what the first event was, but I know he got that right. And then the second event, which I remember because it affected us, is he, in December, late December, called a storm.
The polar vortex.
The polar vortex, which he did not call it the polar vortex, but he did say there's going to be a massive Arctic storm that goes through the Midwest that will... pretty much halt production, slow people down, and pretty much put cities to a halt.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone's like, "Oh my god! There's no way that you can actually
predict that."
Yeah. Come February,
it happened.
Granted, he did say mid to late January, but it was early February.
So it's close enough.
Yeah, close enough that it's okay, how the hell did you do this?
Mm-hmm.
But early February, a storm came through from northwest of Minnesota and went through Minnesota, I know personally, messed the hell out of my business.
Oh, it fucked us all up.
Slowed the
Same.
hell out of Minneapolis. And I know it shut down Chicago to the point where they actually had to put off. They lit the railroads on fire. Yeah, that was something I read. They lit the railroads in Chicago on fire to melt the ice so the train transportation could continue to run.
Jesus.
So effectively shut down cities along there. And he called that months in advance. And he also said that in 2019, this is the year that the government admits and tells everyone and releases documents saying that they have contacted extraterrestrial life. So my theory is, since this kid has not yet been proven wrong, granted it's strange because he's like some weird 16-year-old with a mullet. He is. I've seen pictures of him.
That's
is.
funny.
But granted, he is this weird kid. He hasn't been wrong yet. And my theory runs that maybe this Area 51 raid, granted,
Somehow succeeds.
yeah,
Exactly.
well, not even in a massive succession, not
Even
even
like
not
one or
even
two
like a big win, but just enough people get in to where they're scared, and they whether pictures like get tweeted out or people make it out survive with evidence, or they have to use foreign alien technology to try to stop these people from getting into Area 51. Something happens to where the government is pretty much has their hands tied to where they have to release to the public the information that they have on extraterrestrial life.
Hey guys,
What's up?
aliens.
Fucking aliens.
Aliens, my guy.
That's my general theory on it.
I mean, yeah, I can see where you're coming from that.
It's definitely plausible.
It totally is. I mean, because
It is far-fetched,
it's
but
it is.
super far-fetched, but
to a,
still,
yeah,
it's
to a degree, it's plausible.
seeing as how I've never actually heard of this guy. I've never heard of the time traveler.
After we're done with this, I'll bring up a story on it.
But just going off of the basis of he predicted that this snowstorm would happen, and it happened.
Yeah, I believe. Granted, I don't know how long the months are in January, February. I didn't pay attention to that in school. Apologies, but within, I'd say 2.5 weeks.
January is 31 days.
Okay, 31.
February
He said-
28.
Yeah, February
He
is
said
28
mid
or
to late.
29.
So yeah, within 2.5-3 weeks, he called that storm from when it was going to be. I believe the first city would be hit by its force. Within 2 to 3 weeks.
And in all fairness, even like the meteorologists couldn't see this thing coming.
Yeah, until a week beforehand. They had no idea that it was coming. And granted, people are going to be like, oh, well, yeah, but doesn't he, how would you get between 2 to 3 weeks if you have these documents? None of this was legitimate future documents. He took a yellow notepad and wrote it down on it and posted the picture of these things that were going to happen. So based off of memory, the fact that I'd say he's probably from 2029 or ahead, maybe even farther than that. The fact that he knows by memory when, writes down when these things are going to happen, 2 to 3 weeks is damn near incircumstantial.
Yeah.
I would say so.
That is accurate enough to where I'm like, okay, maybe this kid actually came from the future.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and granted, there have been signs of yeah, the photos have probably been photoshopped and all that stuff, but there was
Yeah.
pictures of guys from dude guys
I think I know where you're going with this.
Dude,
Yes.
from 1990 being seen in 1960
Oh,
black
yeah.
and white photos where
Specifically,
they've been wearing,
Keanu Reeves.
Huh?
There's a theory that Keanu Reeves is from the 1600s. But go on. We don't have to go into that because I don't know a story about that. But there's been I've seen pictures.
That theory could just no.
That could just
Yes. He's a
Have
god.
you-
He deserves
yeah,
to be treated
yeah,
as such.
yeah.
No, I totally agree.
But
Keanu
go on
Reeves
with what
is-
you were saying.
Yeah. But there have been pictures of guys from 2000s and 1990s being seen in black and white photos with
Oh, yeah.
coal miners and shit just sitting in these rows where you can obviously see that guy does not belong there.
Yeah,
He looks out of place.
He looks super out of place.
where I thought you were going with this is there's a picture of I believe it's a Navy soldier on a tanker from I want to say the 1950, like somewhere between 1940 and 1960.
Yep.
And everyone else in the picture is like, hands up like, hey, we're in a picture. But there's one guy that's dabbing in that picture.
Excuse me?
And the caption, granted, it's probably satire, but the caption in that is, time traveler's just getting cocky now.
That's awesome.
Granted, the position, many of
That's
you
a
know what the
big
dab is, but
oof.
granted, the position of the dab is, I couldn't really say that it was a unique thing. Because it's not a unique thing. You can kind of do the thing. I'm pretty sure that I dabbed before dabbing was a thing. But he's diving into that dab. It's a pretty deep dab.
Is it a dank dab?
Deep.
It's pretty dank.
Damn.
Yeah.
Like deep, like it's accented.
So yeah, time traveling could be a thing.
He put some oomph on that dab.
Extra oomph.
But what's that over in the corner? Do you see that?
It's a shadow.
No, do you see it? It's over by the dishwasher. Here, I'm gonna go over and see what it is.
Are you gonna go shit yourself?
What is this? Let me just carry it over here.
I'm so confused at what he's actually doing right now.
It's a box. Let me drop the box. Let me just open up this box. It's a Segway.
Holy shit! It's a Segway.
There's a
Segways.
There's a Segway in this. The store that I actually wanted to talk about in this, due to this Segway, there's a story I saw online.
That was amazing.
Wow.
Thank you. I'm very proud of it. You guys know about the fact that Starbucks and other companies are actually getting away with plastic. They're doing away with plastic straws to try to save the turtles, save the environment.
Yep.
Like what they did in California?
Yes.
Yeah, because California is officially, I believe, it's the first state to actually outlaw.
Yeah, they
plastic
outlawed
straws.
plastic straws. Mm-hmm. And when I heard about that, I was literally just like, why though?
Well,
Because turtles, that's why.
Because turtle. No, I understood once I actually learned more about it. Mm-hmm. But when I first saw it, I was like,
okay. Wait, why the fuck?
why?
But on the regards to that, they have been replacements where, like, I believe Starbucks has created like sort of a sippy cup type of lid
Where
to
they
most
have, like,
of their drinks.
attached straws or something.
I don't know if it's an attached. I
Or if
haven't
it's
actually,
or is it like those weird lids that you get from like regular coffee shops or something like that, where they have the hole in the top and it's like a lip.
See, I like those ones.
Well,
Yeah, those are
Starbucks
actually really
had
nice.
that initially. I'm saying for specifically their ice drinks. I believe it literally looks like the top of a sippy cup. If you can imagine what that looks like.
Why don't they just put the normal lid where it has the lip on it?
I don't know.
That
Because
just makes more
Starbucks
sense.
is whatever.
Because Starbucks has to
But-
be extra.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, but they do sell biodegradable straws also.
Yeah.
But they sell metal straws
Yep.
that are, machine washable. You can put them in your washer like your silverware.
Excuse me?
Yeah.
Yes.
And
I don't go to Starbucks. Starbucks.
Starbucks.
I'm sorry.
Starbucks.
I'm sorry. I'm kind of just.
It sounds like a really fucked up Pokemon. Starbucks.
Starbucks. But I don't go to Starbucks. I've never been to a Starbucks
I'll take you tomorrow.
that I can remember. I don't want to go to one.
no,
You don't have to get you
They're-
anything. We'll just
No,
take
it's
I
you to
not
really
Starbucks.
don't. I really don't want to go because I don't have a need to go there.
I'm gonna go to Caribou.
I don't go to Caribou either.
You drink coffee?
I don't drink coffee.
Yeah, you
Okay,
guys
then
drink coffee.
then you're fine.
I have no need to go to Caribou, Starbucks,
But like,
fucking whatever.
they have scones,
Dunkin'
and
Donuts.
muffins.
I don't have any need to go there. So I don't know anything of what they do. I didn't know anything about these metal straws. That just sounds ridiculous. to
Starbucks
me.
and Caribou aren't directly associated with the metal straws. Just companies have been making metal straws and like that you can use, so then you don't use plastic straws.
Mm-hmm.
Essentially, it's like washing your silverware essentially.
Yeah.
But that's besides the point. They made these straws to save the turtles and save the ocean, whatever. But a story that was posted just let's see, that was posted on the 11th. It's the 14th, so 3 days ago. Posted 3 days ago on the Huffington Post. I'm gonna read you the headline. Get real close to your mic so you can react to this. The headline is, Woman dies after accidentally impaling herself with metal straw.
Fucking what?
Yep. Some activists have touted reusable straws as eco-friendly, but many people in the disability community say plastic straw bans compromise their civil rights.
Just for everybody out there to get more context, I slowly leaned into my mic
He did.
to say what the fuck because I was that flabbergasted.
Mm-hmm.
The general story of this is she had got a drink.
Yep.
Whether I don't believe it stated whether it was from a store, like Caribou, Starbucks, or whether it was from home, but she had this straw, and then she finished and she had carried it, and I believe with the intention of putting it in her pocket, but she tripped, and as most straws go, like kind of like bendy straws, it goes up with the long end.
Mm-hmm.
I can see.
Wow, way to go.
Nice.
It goes up at the long end and then curves, and there's the short end where you drink from.
Yep.
And from what I know, the straw, long end up, was in her hand. She had tripped, fallen, and the straw itself, the long end, went through her eye into her brain as she fell. That's for, I believe, killing her on the spot.
She'd be falling pretty hard for it to.
The thing is, though, no.
And the fact that
Because if you, like
that happened, trying to mentally, picture this happening, you have to fall at a really weird angle for that to happen.
Well,
Yeah.
if it's in your, okay, say you're carrying...
If you brace yourself with your hands close to your face, you're crazy.
Well, it's the fact of a surprise fall.
No, it's just no. I understand it's a surprise fall, but even with that, if you don't if your first thought isn't stick out like my forearm or my hand just straight out,
Well, the thing...
you're actually
Well, the thing
insane.
is,
Yeah.
left, say she's right-handed. Left hand,
Yep.
probably straight out. Right hand, because of the fact that she's holding it, and because of the fact of adrenaline and fear, you know that in certain circumstances, because of that, your muscles clench.
Yep.
So say she's falling, left hand catches it palm down like you should. Right hand, she falls back of hand to elbow, and she goes, and it just kind of at the force of her body falling. Because maybe she's walking, she kind of, instead of just a general downfall, she trips forward. Because I would assume she's walking.
Yeah.
So she
I
catches
could
herself
see that.
left hand, right hand, and goes, and just the force of her going down and her head falling down. Because I don't know her body mass, because maybe she had higher body mass, or she was a little bit overweight or something such as that. That she couldn't catch herself in time and just went through her eye. Because as Ozzy was saying, it doesn't generally take that much force. Because I'm not going to, because we're friends, but I could walk over to Austin, grab his head and put my thumbs over his eyes and push in. It's not going to take much to push my thumbs into your eye sockets.
Yeah, no.
So if you think of it, a metal straw with the force of you falling down would, I would assume, be more force. More force than necessary for this metal straw, which is smaller than my thumb, smaller surface area.
Yeah.
So more of that pressure is in that smaller area to just
At a
go
higher
through.
speed.
Yeah, at what could be a higher speed. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, granted, I don't really know enough about human anatomy to really know this, but isn't there bone behind your eye?
I don't think so, actually. I believe it's cartilage.
Okay, because if
I
it
believe
was bone, you gotta be falling pretty hard.
Because I believe the skull, it's a basis of bone. There's a socket for the eye to be in, but
Yep.
behind that is cartilage holding in place besides muscle. So it's
Okay.
muscle attached to cartilage.
Gotcha.
But even so, just the fact of going through your eye, and because I could break the cartilage in your nose fairly easily.
Oh yeah.
It doesn't take. I wouldn't say it takes that much force. And cartilage generally through granted it's harder, softer at certain points, comparative ears to nose.
Yeah.
You could still go through said thing
Yeah.
fairly easily.
I guess I could see that.
So with the straw going through, I brought this up because it's a weird thing that happened in the world within the past few days, and also because of the fact I thought it was ironic that we're trying to save turtles but we're killing people.
Hey, nothing wrong with that.
Well, there is, but
There's really not. She killed herself.
yeah, but it's still a death, dude.
But the turtles.
I mean, it's 1 out of 7 billion, and
yeah, it's
Well, I believe it's at 8 to 8.5 billion.
Yeah,
at this
it's-
point.
is it? I
Yeah.
thought it was still only at.
Well,
7.
no,
I thought it was closer
know,
to 8, but I
Can
thought it
Thanos
was
go
still
back
I know it's
now and
hit low 8. I don't know general like world population at this point, but I know it's hit 8 billion.
We could weed out some more.
we need a new plague.
In case you guys haven't caught the dynamic yet, Austin is more so the morbid one. I am more so
I'm a
the
sadistic fuck.
Yeah. I am more so the non-morbid one, and
I'm on the fence.
yeah, he's more so in the middle. So if you listen to anyone, listen to David.
I have morals, but I mean, I'm
You don't
more.
use them.
I don't really use them, but I'm more like an intellectual when it comes to certain things.
I guess that's
like,
fair.
Yeah, David's an intellectual on both sides of the fence. Austin
is straight to the point, kill everybody.
Like I said,
well-
we need a new plague.
Austin's a non like David's intellectual both sides of the fence. Austin is more of a to a point. This
Like,
is what I'm thinking.
Get this shit done.
And I'm like because like he's an intellectual like straight to the point. I'm an intellectual more of so of like there's a more of a, like a I don't know the right word, but like a benefit of the doubt kind of thing.
there's
Like,
like
this
a greater,
happened-
There's a greater need for one thing or another.
Yeah, like this might have like this happened, but maybe it was for this reason, and maybe this person isn't necessarily to blame for it, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like maybe like granted, like if we're taking it from the 3 specific viewpoints, Austin, she fell on purpose. She killed her. Like she might have fallen on purpose. She killed herself.
It
Good
was
riddance.
suicide.
From my point, yeah, she fell,
It's
but
for the
maybe she.
turtles.
Yeah, in like so from his point that from David's point, how the fuck did her eye get in the
How
way of
did
the
she-
straw and everything? And from my point, maybe she fell this way, so they actually went into her eye. So Austin, left side of the spectrum, someone died. Good
Far
riddance. David's side, right side, she
You
was
need
just
to-
stupid. How to go into your eye, and then I'm more so in the middle point of benefit of the doubt kind of thing.
My thing is, I'm more on the side of, I need more like
You need
evidence
more information about like what the
to
fuck happened.
prove
you
that
need-
she was like actually just dumb. Because in like us, if I was in the same situation, I wouldn't have because how I'm thinking, she had to have leaned into it in
Yeah.
order for it to actually go into her eye. So I need more like context to
Yeah.
actually prove that this happened,
Yeah.
and it wasn't intentional.
Citing the specific story, David is she's an idiot. Austin is glad
Fuck
she
her.
died. I'm like maybe she didn't do it on purpose.
Maybe this was all for the plot to get rid of metal straws because that's just dumb.
Maybe so.
I mean, they have
Or
bamboo
make
ones.
that seems more practical, like actually using like bamboo.
Oh, yeah.
Because as far as I know, there's like an abundance of bamboo.
Oh, there
'Cause
is.
There's
people
probably a
use
good
that
amount of
shit
bamboo.
for everything,
And it grows really fast, too.
and
It does. But on the subject of time, is there anything else you guys have come across or want to talk about?
I mean, the only thing that I saw was interesting was apparently somewhere in the world. I didn't read into it too much. Apparently, there was a bear that watched the sunset off of a hotel veranda, and
cute.
that really kind of brightened my mood a little bit.
That's
Yeah.
wholesome.
I thought it was great because the picture is literally of just this bear kind of doing the whole like lean over the balcony and just look out in the sunset, and it was kind of cute. But it was like a full-grown bear, so at the same time, it was still kind of fucking scary.
Yeah.
Because you're thinking in the mindset of the bear, like This is just in the mindset of the bear. Just
Big gurs.
this is nice. I appreciate the world. And then you're thinking of in the mindset of everybody else in the hotel, like,
Holy fuck!
oh fuck, there is a big ass bear outside on this balcony.
There's a bear on my veranda.
It's literally just you're sitting there, just confused on A, how the bear got there, and B, how the fuck are we gonna get out without startling the bear?
Oh yeah.
True. Did you think of? Could you think of anything?
Not really.
Because
No.
yeah, the main thing that I came across was this straw story.
I mean, still good story too.
All right. Well, I think this is a good ending point because we're at probably the longest podcast. We're at
We are.
an hour and almost 24.
I bring a lot of information. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
No, it's good. It's good because there's a lot of
need
good
this.
conversation between it. And granted, some people may not be able to make it the whole hour and a half, but
Yeah,
hopefully they'll come back to it. And
I just have to say for context, because we said earlier in the podcast that me and Austin purchased LED lights for our living room.
And Austin has been changing them
And Austin
periodically.
frequently has been changing them. He changed it to this bright ass green that as soon as it changed, my eyes just spasmed,
we
and I
all-
Yeah,
thought
and
I was
since
about
I
to
have
have
a white
stroke.
MacBook, it's been changing the color of my MacBook. And there's blue.
Ow.
Anyway, thank you everyone for listening to our podcast, even though I might have been everywhere and to and fro.
Yeah, no, it totally was everywhere. Like,
Hopefully it was sort of entertaining with the weird things we have talked about. You know Austin. Find them on Twitter at ALP_Crow. Find
up,
me
y'all?
on Twitter at ALP_Nomad. Oh my God.
I think I have a
God,
Twitter.
Austin just clicked the pride lights.
Ow, my eyes.
Does David have a Twitter?
I think so. I'm trying
Okay,
to find it.
while he
Like,
looks up-
if
while
you
he
need
looks
to,
up-
you can just link it.
Bright
Yeah.
lights.
Well, look it up real quick. I'll plug it in at the end. You guys are already on our YouTube if you're listening to this. Make sure on Twitter we're actually at Almost Live Show, SHO for show.
Yep.
Check us on that. We're also on Instagram with just underscores between those words. So check that out. I don't think I haven't posted as much, and
You
I'm
really haven't. You posted one picture.
I've posted one post, but two pictures in the
one
post.
post, 2
I'll
pictures.
work on that. I'll work on that. Maybe I'll take a picture of all of us kind of just chilling here. So make sure to check that out. David, do you have your Twitter on
I
hand?
did find it.
What
Oh,
is it?
sweet.
It is Alabaster Sin.
Is there an underscore at all?
There is no underscore.
Okay.
Capital A, capital S.
Okay, there we go. At Alabaster Sin, capital A, capital S.
I just wanted to say that alabaster is another word for white.
Okay, at quote unquote white sin. Anyway,
I just thought it was funny.
thank you all for listening to our podcast. We'll see you again next week.
See you later, motherfuckers.